Hello, Kindred. How are we this evening?
Doing well.
Really?
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Well,
Everything is
You could say,
we shall
I'm lit.
we shall see how you fare after this evening's events.
Oh, that doesn't sound ominous at all.
I hope you all have your game faces ready to go.
My game face is a new character sheet that is currently right here just in case.
This evening, we start with Ottilie. Right off the bat. Ottilie, dear, you have my undivided attention for the next little bit.
Why does that scare me?
You wanted to know what happened. You wanted to know where you are. How bad do you want to find out?
I mean, if you want me to just stay gone, I can log off and go eat a pizza. Just leave everyone in suspense for another week.
Unfortunately, that won't do with what we have planned.
Oh, then yeah, I guess I need to know, huh?
Excellent. While the rest of the coterie is dealing with stuff at Elysium, we're going to rewind a little bit to a little bit earlier in the evening. Yep. Insert obligatory special effects here. The coterie, running around after a visit from the prince, summons to Elysium, which you're not exactly feeling all that enthused about. You have more pressing concerns on your mind than politics at the moment. Some of
people
you... Absolutely. Some of your team has gone missing. Well,
and I have to prevent the other ones from going missing.
While everybody else is distracted, Ottilie, you find yourself slipping out of the old hospital grounds. You find yourself making your way to your warehouse. Currently, you are standing outside of it. Structure looks fairly familiar to you. You've gotten to know it really well over the last little while. This has become your second home. Well, more your first home, and the hospital doubling as your second for the moment, depending on how things go. You've reworked the inside, multiple layers of security, multiple fail-safes. And there's a bit of a mystery about at the moment because somebody's managed to get inside of your warehouse. Little green poker chip. And a note. Something along the lines of I owe you. We'll meet soon. P. As you pass through the front door into the complex, it's quiet. Normally there's a bit of a hum of activity around, acting as a bit of cover. That's not the case right now. You find yourself making your way to Goose's room. Security room. Where he's stationed kind of in the back through a back door. And as you knock on his door, there is no answer.
my goose.
We open the floor to you to see where tonight takes you.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is call Maybe.
The phone rings, and it rings a second time, and then it picks up. Yeah, what do you want?
I'm in a pickle. And I know how much I am your favorite
When did
uncondiment. So I need to run some stuff by you and make a plan, because I'm pretty sure I'm in danger.
you move into a pickle and not a warehouse?
The pickle is the warehouse.
Oh, you reworked the outside?
See what happened was, we were supposed to have opening night, and then lost 2 days, woke up at the hospital. The prince showed up because something happened, and nobody had any memory of it. I realized that I have people here, so I called Goose to be like, hey, can we have a security sweep? And he was like, yeah, I already sent a couple guys. They are late coming back. Then when the prince showed up, she was like, hey, I sent a couple guys, and they didn't show up either. And now I'm here, and I can't find Goose. And apparently I'm in the place where people disappear, and I don't know if I'm supposed to move and leave, or if I just stand still and wait for assistance.
At that, Maybe's voice instantly changes. It's no longer that carefree voice that you've come to know. There's a very heightened sense of seriousness with him. What do you need from me? What are you looking for?
I kind of left the Coterie on not happy terms, so I don't want to call any of them for help right now. And I just wanted to come here and get my people out. And now I'm thinking that I might want somebody with me, because, the whole horror movie thing, when you venture off by yourself, I kind of did that, and now somebody else is missing. And yeah, so I can try to make it to the door, and if you want to come help me search, that way at least we'll go missing together, if it happens.
So what you did was the exact opposite of what you should have done, and you did the white girl thing.
Yeah, did I mention that I'm from Kansas? We have a history of being a lone white girl that disappears into other lands. Just saying.
I mean, I can be there. It's gonna take me a bit, but I can be there probably inside of an hour. As for your friends, I'm not sure how long they're gonna be, but they're already out the door.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start searching here for people. I'm gonna avoid the main arena area where apparently everything happened. But I'm gonna start walking around here and see if any of the other people are here, so we can at least get them out
And
before anybody else goes missing.
And if you don't find them anywhere else?
Then we're gonna hope that I make it out of here by the time you get here, because it won't take me that long to search. And hopefully I'm standing outside and I don't go missing. But just in case, if I'm not standing outside, I probably either found someone who's hurt and alive, or I went missing. Ta-da! You're in danger now too.
So if you go missing, I've been with you like every time you've been there. If you go missing, how do I get in?
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so
All right. Here's what I'm going to do, okay?
yeah.
You are welcome to go looking for your friends if you so choose to take your life into your own hands. I'm not responsible for your actions. Is there anybody in the group that has a key card?
Yes. There is one person with automatic access, which is obviously going to be Isabella, and somebody with a key card is going to be Sammy.
Then, since I don't have a way in, it seems like I'm going to have to wait for them to get back and let them know. And then I will send reinforcements off.
Okay, I'm still gonna see if there's anyone here, but like I said, I'm gonna avoid the main arena area where apparently everything happened. And hopefully if I don't step foot in there, then I'm okay, but I'm gonna keep looking for Goose, because I don't want to lose a Goose.
That is completely understandable. That is.
And I think everyone else already knows where I am anyway, so if I don't come back, they'll probably just assume I've disappeared.
I'll let them know. Besides, Isabella didn't go with them. She's in a bit of a predicament at the moment, so this should be entertaining at the very least.
I think I am entertaining and in a predicament. It's not an entertaining predicament, though.
Good luck.
Oh, joy.
And the phone goes dead.
Oh, yay. Guess I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find anyone.
How many hallways are in your immediate area?
Okay, so trying to avoid the main area. We did not hit the time frame for our panic room, so I know that is not fully done to check there. Nobody should be upstairs in the apartments because they're all specifically for certain people. Like me. And there's nobody in the main area that's not the main event area. The one that looks like our computer system area. No peeps anywhere, huh? Not a win? Nobody?
How many hallways are in your immediate area?
Should be 3.
You are going to roll me int plus investigation 3 times, please.
Okay. Just rolled 4 10s. And an 8, but 4 10s. Okay, so the first roll is all successes. It's 5 successes.
Any of those hunger dice?
Wait, one is a hunger die. Yeah, one of the 10s is hunger.
Then that would be a messy critical. Okay, your second one?
Second one is 3 successes. And then 4 successes.
Okay, and your third one?
That was 3.
Okay.
The first one, yeah, the first one was
Okay.
was all the 10s.
Okay. Your first one, nerves a little frayed, you're a little on edge. Your senses kind of kick into overdrive a little bit. You don't see anything. You don't smell anything. And you don't hear anything. Not even the hum of the electricity in the walls, which hearing that's just normal for you. The lights are on, but you don't hear the hum. During the second and third halls is much the same. Come to think of it, you don't even hear your own footsteps. Everything is just quiet. Almost like something is dampening the sound.
Okay. Nobody's here though, and my mission was to find people. I can't hear anything. I'm gonna slowly track my way back to the door to the outside.
Make me a wits plus awareness roll, please.
Not a single success.
I love it when the dice work in my favor.
They were all 1s and 3s.
Was any of your hunger dice a 1?
No.
You're very slowly trying to track your way back to the door, not go any further than you have to. The air in front of you shimmers, wavers. Before you can react, you step into it.
Did not have interdimensional travel on today's bingo card. Alright, let's go. Please don't be the Shadowlands. Please don't be the Shadowlands.
Gale force winds here. They just tried to rip my window out of the window frame. Anyways, where were we?
The glitter wall that shimmered.
It's almost like it's not what you remember passing into the Shadowlands. It's almost like the
I don't think I've ever been to Shadowlands.
It's not like what you remember other people telling you the Shadowlands were like. It's almost like the very air itself is just rippling, as if it's water. Before you can stop yourself, you step into it. Your entire body starts to tingle.
This is not the happy tingle I was hoping for.
It's almost pins and needles feeling. That feeling when your limb falls asleep. And takes a couple of moments before it starts to fade. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is that everything around you seems to be black. There's a pinpoint of light in the distance.
I didn't just get eaten by a shadow, did I? I'm not trying to pull an Anna.
There's a pinpoint of light off in the distance that sets it. It's the only thing here.
If I go towards the light, I'm probably already dead. Okay, I'm going towards the light.
You move towards the light. You approach it. And at first, you think you're mishearing things because it sounds like the crackle of a fire. The closer you get, the warmer and almost more comforting the air seems to get. Where before
Always
it was
knew I'm welcome in hell.
where before it was cool, it's actually quite inviting.
Yep, that's how they get you.
It's a tall man standing in front of the fire. His skin is almost the color of burnt caramel. Piercing blue eyes as he stares at you. A shirt that's flowy and looks like it'll give his skin much room to breathe. And a wrap about his waist. Looks almost ceremonial in its own right.
I'm gonna wave. Hi!
He waves back. You see a smile on his face. He opens his mouth.
I was wondering when you'd get here, little one. From seats. I've been waiting for you. We have much to discuss.
Cool, I'm making a new friend today. Let's talk.
As you move in towards the fire, a stump appears around the edge. Much like the one offered for you, a stump appears next to him and he sits on it, pokes the fire once or twice.
You've had a bit of a journey. Why don't you tell me about it?
As we fade to black. Guys, we're going to take a moment. With that, we turn our eyes to the rest of the coterie for the moment.
I'll be clutching my pearls.
You guys have left Elysium. Yourself and Prue parted ways. Prue having muttered something about needing to check in on someone, making sure that they were okay. And something about repaying a debt. And she went off to do as she does. You guys make your way back to the hospital. Pull up in the driveway. Get out of the vehicle that dropped you off. You open the front door of the hospital, and you are instantly assaulted by Isabella's screams that are echoing throughout the hallway.
Get fucking off of me! Dorme has kicked off her heels and is running.
Same.
I was going to ask what kind of screaming is it, but I think we're going to follow along.
Jimmy's gonna follow Sweets.
Maki's already booking it.
You follow the screams all the way, actually, to the cafeteria, where you see 3 of the pack around Isabella and you see Isabella tied to a chair, one of them looking rather stern at her, and another one menacingly holding a bowl of soup.
What the heck is going on in here?
I've been held against my will and kidnapped.
She's
Can
not.
you really be
Or
kidnapped
soup?
if you're in your own place?
She's not one to eat, apparently. This is the only way we could get her to actually have something. One of the wolves turns to the lot of you.
Oh,
Jimmy's-
she's a ghoul. That totally makes sense. Eat, you dumbass.
Oh, never mind. Carry on.
Jimmy goes over to the bar, grabs a bottle of alcohol, pours himself a drink.
Jimmy, darling, you might not want that stuff. The better stuff's on the underneath the bar.
He swallows.
Just saying, for future reference.
The wolf holding the bowl of soup looks down at Isabella. And you're going to stay here until you can't eat anymore.
This is the third bowl of soup you've given me. I can't have any more soup. I've got shit to do.
Like what?
Maybe next time you'll learn to eat properly.
Me. Fuck you. I'm getting out of this chair. She tries to rock out of the chair.
Dorme's gonna use her arms of Armand to scoot her back.
You're going to have to make me a rouse check and a roll for that.
Okie dokie. New toys.
Oh, so you just want to be like Kieran. You just want to be like Kieran so bad. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, it was either this one or Touch of Oblivion, and this one feels more useful to me.
It's a great tool. If you like tentacles.
That's a 10, so that means I've passed my rouse. Apologies, I thought I had the correct.
You have to scroll Wits in Oblivion.
Thank you. Apologies. I don't know what happened to my screen. Okay.
But also that's only when you're inflicting damage.
Oh, I just want to hold her in place.
I'm still going to make you roll for it.
All right. Okay, remind me again, is it 6 and above or is it 5 and above? I got nothing.
Isabella feels something touch her leg. She gets spooked and falls over in the chair.
Well, shit, that didn't work.
And your
Ow.
arms of Ahriman fizzle a moment later. It's a relatively new ability for you, something you've been experimenting with. But you haven't quite got the hang of it just yet. One of the wolves...
Sassy, can you help me up, please?
The one to the right of the one holding the soup bowl walks over, looks down at you, sighs, and then just picks the chair up and places it right back down on the floor. if I have to come and do this again to make sure that you've eaten something, you and I are going to be having a very long talk. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Good. And a moment later, she reaches down and unties the ropes that are binding you to the chair. They fall slack, allowing you to get out.
Aw.
Thank you.
Which wolf is this one again?
I thought
Me?
I heard sassy.
Me? I'm Sassy. She points over to the one holding the bowl of soup. That's Shadow, and the one next to him is Chance.
Right, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to learn everybody's names.
Chance, huh? How many?
Think he's on his third?
They picked me up like a sack of potatoes. And Dre here, well, Dorothea and Ricky laughed at me.
How many is she on?
Me?
Yeah. How many chances is she on?
I don't know.
By the way, while you lot are here, we were asked to pass a message on to you. Apparently one of your cohorts, the little one.
Ottilie?
That's the one. Is at the warehouse? And was apparently rather scared. She called maybe, and
Who?
I who?
her boy toy.
Oh.
And she had asked for him to come and give her a hand, and then it was apparently promptly pointed out that he doesn't have a way in, but a couple of you do.
I've got a key card.
Isabella's gonna, like, pat herself down and eventually find the thing, like, oh, so do I.
She's asking for reinforcements. She's asking for help or something.
This sounds like an excellent time for us to go help our friend, she says, itching away from the 3 werewolves and the bowl of soup.
Quick, super.
Freeze, Missy. And she'll point at Isabella. She's had how many bowls of soup again?
Only 3. She needs at least one more.
She's had 2. This is her 3rd. Sassy speaks up. So long as she takes one of those cookies, I'm sure she'll be fine.
Okay, do me a solid then. Pack up a couple of the cookies and something with protein in it, like those chicken strips that you guys like so darn much.
I'm sure we got
Maki's literally gonna walk over to wherever there's like food and shit and just finds some sort of water bottle and just starts grabbing a bunch of them, walks over to Isabella, shoves it in her face and says, I was a ghoul 3 days ago and I know you're dehydrated. Drink some goddamn water.
I'm fine.
No, you are not. You look like you're about to fall apart.
Jimmy's just
Drink
gonna walk
water,
back over
eat
to
some
sleep.
snacks. It is the only way that you are going to survive as a ghoul with your Domitor still taking blood from you every once in a while. Eat, drink, hydrate. Maki just leaves all the water and walks away.
Thank you,
Sammy just looks
Maki.
around. Sammy just looks around. I guess I won't have to worry about you when I'm in Vegas. Seems like everyone's going to take care of you in my absence.
Yeah, apparently I've been officially adopted by a bunch of people in a very short period of time.
Yes, and we're going to treat you like family.
An Italian family?
Somewhere over in like Eastern Europe, we're not sure. Where basically, if you're not eating, you haven't been eating enough, and yeah.
I am the only real Italian here.
Then you know what I mean when I say Italian.
It's also a Southern thing too. We're big believers that if you don't leave the house with at least like a container of some kind with that evening's meal in it for, lunch tomorrow, you didn't do it right.
The only reason that I am forcing this so hard is that how long has it been since any of y'all were human?
Over 100 years.
It's been 3 days. For me. And a lot of the times, y'all will forget that humans need to drink water and eat and do things like the sleep. She glares at Isabella.
I did the sleep.
How
And
many
the standing outside for 20 minutes.
How many hours did you sleep?
And did you shower?
I did that too. I slept for as many well, apparently we slept for like a day. So I think we're good for like a week.
For that. I'll let you on the loose for that, but I'm going to keep an eye on you because I am very aware of what you need. Because it's all still very fresh for me.
Hey, sweets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring Elizabeth and Lydia in.
Oh, shit, I forgot they were out there in the stupid car.
Wait, what?
Yeah, sure.
What?
You know what? I never had these kind of problems with Lucas, so you guys have fun with that, and I'm gonna go get your unconscious friends.
Thank you.
What? Who? What? What's happening?
Dorme's going to flag down a couple of her ghouls, either Brianna or Yvette or both, and say, hey, can you guys go get a couple of stretchers and help that young lady that just left? Thank you.
As you're talking, trying to figure out who's doing what, the driver of the car that you were in, as well as apparently somebody else that was sitting in the car with them, appear at the doorway, carrying both Elizabeth and Lydia. Where are we putting these two? They look really, really confused and looking around.
The Doc's room. Doc's room. I'll show you, she says, and she's brings out her notebook and just, oh shit, I gotta do more of these questions and answers. And she's just gonna like lead the people to where Elizabeth's room is.
They deposit them on the bed.
And Dorme's gonna yell after her, sip some water!
They deposit them on the bed, and a moment...
I'm sipping water!
They deposit them on the bed, and a moment later, they are gone.
Once everyone gets settled, I suppose, Sammy will look at everyone and go, so, and then he'll reach in her pocket, pull out a card, and go, change out of our clothes, and then back up?
Sounds good to me. I need to get out of this dress. And I left my shoes somewhere.
5 minutes of uninterrupted silence. So yes, let's go get changed and then we'll go do backup.
I have to go back.
Let's say reconvene here in about 15.
Jimmy? You were going to say?
she said Jimmy, it sounded like Sammy. I think that's where the confusion was. Or was it me? Okay. Sorry. I thought she said Jimmy.
I said Jimmy.
Okay.
Oh, I
That's
was
what I
just gonna say, Jimmy was gonna be like, I think I left my stuff over at Sweets.
Either way, you get changed. You have your impromptu quiet time. You find yourselves standing roughly about an hour later outside of the warehouse. You guys have been here once before. Hasn't really changed much on the outside. But it's quiet. Except for a cat meowing in the background somewhere.
Whiskers.
We are not taking the cat home, Isabella.
But it needs a home. Look at it. It's all alone with nobody to take care of it.
Make you a deal. If we get out of this and Ottilie's fine and the cat is still there, we can take the cat home. That even means he's meant to be with us. Until then, he stays right where he's at.
Yes, Ma.
That's my girl. Come on.
Isabella's gonna swipe her card to get the automatic access to the building.
You manage to find your way in. And much like Ottilie earlier this evening, it's quiet in this building for you lot. Even for those of you that are normally observant to such things, it is a little too quiet. You can't really hear anything. You can't hear your footsteps. You can't hear the electricity. You can't hear Isabella's breathing or heartbeat. Normally, you'd be able to pick up on all of that.
Well, this is a little disconcerting.
Are we dead? Did we die?
Storyteller.
Yes.
Sammy's gonna pull her phone out of her pocket. Before we go any further, she pauses, wondering how she's gonna say it. I want to check on something. And then she's gonna send a text. I'll send it to you in the Storyteller chat.
Yes.
Jimmy would like to use Sense the Unseen.
Don't believe that requires a roll, does it? That's passive. So you take a moment and you just kind of hone your senses. Look around. It's almost like there's a blanket. Some sort of cover. Something is dampening this area almost. Quieting it. Covering it. You've never seen anything quite like this before.
Am I able to see it? This blanket or shroud?
It's almost like a cloak. blanket, you're not sure what. You can feel it. You can't see it.
Sweet.
Sammy will make a frustrated. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah.
There's something off about this place, and it feels supernatural.
I was worried you were going to say that. Oh, what's that on?
Dorme?
I would like to activate where the shroud thins, based on what Jimmy said.
Give me 1 second to pull that up. Please make me a rouse check.
Pass.
That'll be intelligence plus oblivion.
Oh, mine reads wits plus oblivion.
One moment. I'm going to make it intelligence plus oblivion in this case. Yes, Maki.
I was just gonna see if I could roll for any occult knowledge that I may have about all this weird shit.
Let's go intelligence plus occult.
I've got 5 successes, 3 of which were 10s.
Any of those 10 hunger dice?
Negative.
Thank you. One moment. That's a 6 for Maki. Maki, your knowledge is not as in-depth in this area as Dora May's would be. Dora May, while it's not your specific specialty, not your area of expertise, so to speak, there is a shroud here. And it is fairly thick. Looking around, you watch as the door shimmers and disappears behind you, blocking the exit from the building.
Okay. That's interesting. So, do we want the good news or the bad news first?
Bad news. Always bad news first. That makes the good news better.
Our, the way we came in, it's gone.
And the good news?
Well, the shroud is here, but it's thick, kind of like a wool sock.
I like wool socks.
Yes.
Would that explain why we weren't able to get a hold of Ottilie and it seemed like her phone went dead, and why mine seems to be doing the exact same thing now?
It would explain that. Good news is... Sorry, I'm trying to see. I'm reading this at the same time. It says no effect, which means that we can pass through if necessary. Am I reading that correctly?
We'll go with that for now. Sorry, these were not added to the chart. I will be adding those later.
Okay, I'm just double checking, make sure I'm reading this correctly. Well, good news is that if we have to, we shouldn't experience too much difficulty getting through.
So we walk forward.
Considering our exit's gone, that might be the correct way to do things, but just to be on the safe side, and Dorme's going to look around for a rock or something small to throw in it.
Wits plus investigation, please.
I got 5 successes with 2 10s, neither of which are hunger dice.
This hall is impeccably clean. One thing Ottilie does is keep her workspace and her living quarters cleaner than a whistle.
All right, respect. And Dorme's going to dig in her pocket and find like a coin, like a quarter or a penny, and try to throw it into the thing.
It disappears.
And we don't hear like a ting of it falling or anything. It's just gone.
Gone.
Does it do like a visible air ripple or anything like that?
Where the penny disappears, the air in front of you actually looks like a stone has been thrown into water. It covers the entire hallway in front of you.
Well, okay. We didn't hear any growling or anything, so who knows what the hell that portends.
Isabella's gonna start walking forward.
And with that,
Hand, shoulder. Together, Isabella, not ahead on your own.
Yes, please. Don't.
You guys are
stay.
taking too long. Ottie's in here by herself with who knows what kind of danger, and we're just standing here. We have to move.
Agreed. Just don't want you rushing in as the one that can die easier than the rest of us.
Okay, I'm gonna die of old age if we keep waiting here.
Maki's literally just gonna take Isabella's hand and look at Isabella and go, okay, on 3.
On 3.
On 3.
Yay!
1, 2, 3. Big step.
Maki just looks back at Sweets and goes, please God, don't leave me alone with them.
I was gonna say, I wait to see like what happens when they jump through.
From what you can see, sweets, they disappear, much like the penny did. For them,
Jimmy's sticking close to sweets.
for them,
And
it's a feeling of pins and needles passes through their entire body.
I look to Jimmy and just kind of shrug, hands in my pocket. Might as well. And dive in. Cheerio!
Emerging from the other side, for all of you, everything is pitch black at first. And pins and needles feeling starts to fade. And looking around, you see a point of light off in the distance.
Does this look like a bunch of shadows? Just FYI around us?
No, it's just
Okay,
pitch
good.
black. It's like there's nothing here.
Alright, cool. Cool. As long
Oh
as
no,
there's
I'm
shadows.
blind.
No, I see a light.
That might be your conscience. Don't go there.
I saw this movie. Don't follow the light.
Okay, but there's nowhere else to go besides
No,
the
it's not our only
light.
choice.
Alright,
Well,
we can stalk the light like prey, okay?
Only way out is through.
Yep.
As you move forward,
Okay.
the chill in the air starts to wane, lessen. It's like somebody's taken a nice warm blanket and wrapped it around you. It feels friendly, welcoming, comforting in its own right, whatever that feels like for each of you. And as you draw closer to the fire, you can tell it's a fire, crackling merrily. Every once in a while, a plume of sparks issues forth from it as it's poked by a gentleman in a flowy top with piercing blue eyes, unlike a certain Isabella's eyes, actually. Not unlike, rather, a certain Isabella's eyes. Almost the exact same shade. He's wearing a bit of a flowy wrap around his waist. He's the color of burnt caramel. He stands as you approach. Sitting on a stump in front of him is Ottilie. They seem to have been talking a little bit. He gestures, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stumps appear from out of nothingness. And he smiles.
I was wondering when the rest of you would get here. Ottilie here is quite the entertaining caricature. How are you this evening?
Isabella's gonna
I can
ignore the
expect-
man, lean over. Squirrels, you good?
I'm good.
He gave us the right
Yeah.
property. He gave us
I
a
don't
bit
know
of
how
care
they'll
there.
die, but we're good.
Yeah. I'm just really happy to see you, and she's gonna like go over and hug Ottilie, if that's allowed.
Jimmy?
Sure.
Jimmy?
Looking around, I want to roll an intelligence occult to determine where we are.
You're welcome to roll.
And as she's hugging Ottilie and like giving her a pat on the back, she'll whisper in her ear, "Honey, are you okay? I know I texted you earlier. I'm just glad that you're okay, but are you okay?"
Why is everyone dead?
Well, honey, kindred with the exception of Isabella.
I mean,
We were already dead.
you're no deader than normal, if that helps.
But there was that whole crossover, tingly feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Starlight.
Yeah, you're nowhere.
What?
You are nowhere.
And everywhere.
Not everywhere, just nowhere. That's literally what this is. The absence of everything. Except what I bring forth.
What do you want?
Now, there's a question. You, well, all of you, really, wanna see what you're made of.
Just an FYI, we got rules. Not many rules, but we've got rules.
Not here, you don't. The only rules here are mine.
And not to be rude, but who are you exactly?
Another good question. I am, known by many names.
Person Bo?
No, but I was a good doctor at work. Very good story. One that...
Stormy will just pat Jimmy on the shoulder. Good job.
One that I actually didn't see coming, which is intriguing, all things considered.
Yeah, considering Captain Jack.
But anyway, back to the original question at hand. You are known by many names.
I'm trying to figure out which one would be best for you. Because,
Oberon?
no, I guess for the moment, you can call me the Storyteller.
Is this a fourth wall break?
There are no walls.
No. This is not a fourth wall break.
Be pretty cool if it was.
It'd be kind of neat.
Not
Jimmy,
that this isn't cool.
Jimmy, honey, I think you're reading a little too far into this. Let's kind of... You don't have to run the race. Let's just walk with everybody else.
Have a seat.
Okay. She's going to sit right next to Ottilie.
Ottilie.
Sammy's gonna take the one on the other side.
Yes.
Small one. That's not a bad thing. Small in stature, but sometimes very large in heart and spirit, my dear. You learn this when you've been around as long as I have been. Now that
Are you as old as the building I hung out with?
As the what?
The building. There was a building that I hung out with. We became friends. It was talking.
Oh. I think I know what you're talking about. No. No, but have heard of, and many, many interesting stories have come from that place.
It's kind of funny though, because then something took over my building, and now I'm here talking to you. I just kind of feel like I make friends with buildings.
Well, now that your friends are here, I suppose we can get started.
Isabella remains standing.
Isabella, honey, why don't you sit down and have a cookie?
The storyteller turns to you, Isabella. His eyes just kind of look at you for a moment. Have a seat. I'm not gonna hurt you.
She's gonna eye him for a moment before walking towards the whatever stumps left over. Her eyes are not leaving him at all as she sits down.
He just watches, and when you take a seat, he smiles.
That's much better. So I know each of you intimately. Your stories have been highly entertaining. The lives that you've lived. The paths that you've tread. A couple of you currently have some issues that you're facing. Ottilie, Isabella, I have a proposition for all of you. I want you to tell me a story. No, I don't care what it is. Tell me a story. And if I like it enough, we're going to talk about your biggest regret. And we're going to make it go away. With the exception of one Isabella. And as more pressing matters, the moment, I believe.
What, your big powers aren't... What, are you not powerful enough to deal with my biggest regret?
He snaps his finger, and the blackness starts to, oddly enough, fade until it seems to mimic the inside of your room. Something you haven't
She
shown.
instantly looks somewhat panicked.
He looks directly at Isabella and looks around, and for the rest of you, having not been in here in quite a while, there are notes and pictures, strings attached, covering the walls, names, dates, places, information that seems important somehow, pictures, events. On one side of the wall it just says, "You can't forget."
You have much bigger issues to deal with. How long has it been if you bothered to tell them?
She has a very stony face as she just says, "There are more pressing matters."
Yeah, and what do you think would happen if they realized you were just a shell of yourself, my dear? Do you think they'd forgive themselves? Do you think they'd forgive you? What kind of person would you be if you can't remember who you are? Tell me, what would Ricky think of you? Oh, I forgot. Sorry, you forgot, didn't you? Say it out loud.
She stays silent.
Coward.
Bella, honey, what is he talking about?
She stays silent for a few moments before saying, "The Shadowlands didn't affect my memories. They've been slowly disappearing since I came back.
Dorme will just go over to Isabella and very gently cup her face like she did in the Shadowlands when she found her. Sweetheart, why didn't you say anything? We could have tried to help.
There were more pressing matters. People went missing. The humans went missing. Things happened when we got back. It was fine. It was slow. She gently grips her notebook that you guys have seen that she's been leafing through quite a bit. And then it just suddenly started getting faster.
The storyteller looks over to Ottilie. The room fades. Before he says anything to Ottilie, one final statement to Isabella. A question, rather.
Do you even know who Ricky is anymore?
Isabella looks down at her notebook, opens it up, goes to a little tab that says ours, and closes it. My Domitor.
So that would be a no. Very well. Here's the deal. Your story, if I like it enough, will be to put a stopper in this for you until you can find a solution.
At which point, he looks directly at Ottilie.
You have had many stories, experienced much. I'm excited to see what you have to say. What story you have to weave, what tale you have to tell. What's your biggest regret, Ottilie?
My biggest regret? That's a hard one. I think my biggest regret was falling for Tyrion.
Not eating your parents?
No. Because I don't regret being turned, and I don't regret the things that have mostly happened since I was turned, but I do regret falling for someone and caring for someone that would betray me, that would put my friends in danger, and all the chaos that has followed since.
That's understandable.
We're still running, and there's still enemies out there from what happened, and we haven't stopped them, and I don't know how. So my regret was opening the door to my heart to someone who could distract me from protecting the people I loved.
Vincent, please. Tell me a story.
Does it have to be a real one?
No. Be anything you want. I'm here for the story, nothing else.
Okay. Let's see. Long time ago, in a beautiful village on the after some beautiful snowy mountains, there was a fairy. Thing about fairies, so we're kind of making it up, and I have to apologize because I really don't know. But if they're real, I'm sorry. So there were fairies, and this fairy, she had this desire inside of her to see the world, but she was too small to go very far, and everything was always so cold. So she had to stay, and she dreamt every day of being able to have adventures and being able to make friends of all different types. She wanted to meet vampires and humans and werewolves and any creature that she could dream up that she believed in. She wanted to meet it. And she would try. She would go as far as she could, but she could never make it very far. She was always trapped. She was always stuck because if she went too far, she would die. And she knew she couldn't make it in the cold. She was just too small. One day, there were some hikers in the area, and they were trying to climb the mountains. So she saw them and decided that she would sneak in with them and go on an adventure. So she did. She snuck into one of their bags, and she hid herself in there. And when they stopped for camp and opened their bags to put up their tents and get their food, she fell out. And the man that found her decided that she was so cute that he was going to keep her. And he took her with him in the adventure, and he kept her in a pocket and made sure he used a handkerchief as a blanket to keep her warm. And she got to meet her first humans, and she got to climb the mountain and see all of the beautiful sights. And when they came back down, she decided to stay with him so she could see the world. But his intention wasn't just to show her the world or ever set her free. He wanted to keep her as a pet. So he chained her to him so she could only go so far. She got her dream to see the world, but she would spend the rest of her days by his side and never be able to truly be free, even though she got what she really wanted. And she spent the rest of her life wondering if all of her dreams and desires were truly what she wanted in life, or if she had wasted her one wish. There you go.
The storyteller looks at you quietly for a long moment. That's a pretty apt description of your life up to this point, isn't it?
Say so.
You feel chained? Trapped?
All the time.
Let me relieve one of those burdens for you. Reaches down in front of him. Grabs a small little cup, hands it over. It's a sweet-smelling liquid inside.
Drink.
May as well. She drinks it.
And with that, his eyes shift to Sammy.
What is your biggest regret? There's no hide.
Question.
There's no hiding around fire. Age-old tradition, sacred, something that's been there as long as people have existed. As a way of bearing all eventually. So tell me,
It used to be being stupid enough to get tricked into all of this.
And now?
To getting him right. My biggest regret is slipping.
Have
I feel
some.
like I've got one job. I feel like I have to keep an eye on everyone. Yet I get so focused, I get so just pinpoint on facts, on evidence, on all sorts of things, on cases. It's why it works so well. It's my job.
And how would you fix that?
I'm trying to. Trying to so hard. I make Ottilie a promise. I break it the same night I make it. I try to set something up with my... I don't even know what we're calling ourselves right now, but him and my daughter, but the minute we start trying to set something up, they get trapped in this whole thing that we're currently dealing with, to where I have to put that on hold. And blood just starts flowing down her cheeks, like it's just water falling at this point.
And how would you fix that?
That's the problem, I don't know. I know so many things, I study so many things, I put so much information in my head. And the most important things, I can't figure it out.
Then maybe a little bit of reprieve is what you need. So, tell me a story.
I'll tell you a story. Back when I was in the city where I was embraced, there was a little girl. Hell, even before she was embraced, even before I was embraced, she was in the apartment building. Every night, when I got done with cases, I would come home and she would be playing in the hallway. I'd make sure I had something, piece of candy, little cheap toy, something like that. And I'd constantly give it to her. That kid gave me hope, even through all the horrible stuff I'd see, because when you choose a niche like doing cases at night, you tend to see some of the craziest things. And then I remember coming home one night. Years had passed, that little girl grew up. And there were police officers around the apartment. reason I took care of that kid is I knew that she was far stronger given the situation she was in. Her parents were connected with things that, of course, I knew about, because detective, why do you not figure that stuff out? But at the same time, what could I do? It's not like I could take care of anything just as an independent citizen or something. And then I found out what happened. Everything they were into caught up with them. Inside that apartment, 2 dead bodies. And out in the hallway, where she always was that blonde 18-year-old girl sitting there completely lost. And it was either me let her fly into the abyss or make things a whole lot more complicated. That's the night I became a mother. I pulled my strings, I got people to work things around. I have a pretty good mask anyway, it's not that hard. And that's the day that Grace became my daughter. She's been with me ever since. That's why I regret everything so much, because sometimes when I can't focus on her and now Jasper and Ottilie and everyone else, I just... don't think I can handle it anymore.
That's a lot. Don't deal's a deal.
He reaches down in front of him, pulls up vial, clear liquid, passes it across to you.
When you're ready to take your break, drink this. This will give you time. I can't completely fix what's happened, but I can offer you time. You drink this when you leave to go off on your trip, and until the time you get back. This will make you human. Until you step foot in your hospital door again. But there's an added bonus. You won't have to upkeep Jasper. That blood bond that you have will be frozen. It's not a permanent solution, but it's something that might offer you just a bit of time to work through things and to help you mend bridges.
Thank you. She'll put it in her coat pocket, a place that she reserves for very important things.
And with that, he turns to Maki.
And your biggest regret in life?
Why?
Curiosity.
Why should I just give you my biggest regret and a story? You seem, so far, friendly. But just because you seem friendly doesn't mean that you are.
Always suspicious. Always
Comes with
jumping to the
territory.
worst conclusion. Have you not learned yet? Sometimes good things come when you're least expecting it. There's nothing I can do here to prove myself to you, and we both know that. You won't take me at my word. Your friends have no reason to trust me. And you're in my domain, and I mean, as much as I can warp things here, that's not really gonna prove anything to you.
How do we know you had nothing to do with what's happened to the warehouse? How do you know that you didn't kill all those people and make them all disappear?
That
I'm
was
not gonna just turn a blind eye.
It wasn't me.
And like you said, you can't prove it. But fine, we'll play your little game. Although why you're asking what my biggest regret is when I already assume you know. But if you want a show, I'll give you a show.
You don't have to. You are completely welcome to tell me no.
No, we'll play the game. Let's see what you've got for me.
Then tell me, what is your biggest regret?
My biggest regret is that I couldn't save.
Very well. Tell me a story.
It was Rome, Italy. Back in, 1900, 1950s, 60s, somewhere around that time frame. Time gets all jumbled. I met a man. He was a nice man. He was naive and sheltered and witty. Fun to tease. Fun to joke around with. I loved this man. We grew very close to each other. And then that's when I was kidnapped. And that's when I saw what the man's life was really like, the one that he hid behind closed doors. The one where the church did what the church was. All the dark, cruel, dirty little secrets that it liked to hide in the bowels of its depths. And sure, I escaped, but you never forget the things that they do to you down there. And then me and the man ran away. And we thought we were safe, and we thought everything was fine because we were in love, and it was Rome, it was Italy in the 50s, and everything was grand. Until it wasn't. Until it caught back up with us. Again, because that's what it always does. It's how it always works. You only see the light at the end of the tunnel because it's an illusion. It's not real. Luckily, for the man, he was able to get out pretty unscathed. I got out with scars, bruises, the ability to live much longer than I should have, but not so much that I'd live forever. And it's been 70 years. And now I'm here, and I do get to live forever. At the cost. Very big cost. That the man that I love is dead. Because you never get a happy ending. It's all fake. It's fantasy.
Sorry. The storyteller pokes the fire, sending up a spout of sparks. From out of nowhere, he grabs another small log and puts it on. I can't violate the natural order of things.
You can't violate the natural order of things.
Really? Because we're violating the natural order of things just by existing.
You see it as a violation of the natural order. This myth and legend have told you as such. There are bigger things out there, my dear. Give you a choice. A chance to say proper goodbye. Or a chance to say a proper goodbye in person. Or the ability to have continued communication at a distance.
Maki looks pissed now. You would think she'd look happy, but no, she's pissed. You're an ass.
Now, but I have been told on many occasions that I have a nice one.
That's yet to be seen.
You're not the one that gets to decide that. I can't bring Kieran back.
I don't want Kieran back. I want the person who killed him dead.
Okay. If that's the case.
Anything that you could give me of Kieran back would just be exactly what it is. He's not back. He can't come back. He's dead. And I can't change that, and you can't change that. So while yes, would I love to be able to hear his quips for the rest of eternity, at a distance, would I love to be able to say goodbye to him one last time? It doesn't change the fact that he's still dead, and all that's going to do is keep me in a cycle of grief where I can hear him all of the time, or I see him one last time and have to start the grieving process all over again. You're an ass.
There's that vital piece of information I didn't have. Miscalculated. My kids, let me offer you this. While I can't violate the natural order of things, I can bend the rules, so to speak. The beauty of being a storyteller is you get to tell works of art some days. I'm going to offer you a tipping of the scales. Something that might benefit you in a very crucial moment. And that is wisely.
He reaches into a sleeve, pulls out a little satchel.
One handful. That's all you get.
What is it?
It's a moment in time. You sprinkle this at your feet. In the time that you choose, it'll freeze things for 10 seconds. Everything except freedom. Might help give you the upper hand, might give you an edge, or that moment could pass you by completely. Potential unfulfilled.
He passes the satchel over.
One
Maki begrudgingly takes it.
One sprinkle.
And his eyes shift to sweets.
The racer. Fast pace, the need for speed.
And the complete and utter lack of regrets.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because I don't have time for that.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Too fucking bad, because that's the answer you're gonna get. Unlike these other fine people here who've obviously been through a lot and have some real things to regret. And that's a shameful thing. But that's not how I've lived my life. And that's not how I intend to live my life in the future. I intend to have a very long afterlife. And that's not gonna happen if I'm carrying shit tons of regret. You just gotta move on and deal with it.
Never
You
really,
fuck up, you get up, you move. You
never
do
really,
better.
never really time to process, huh? No time to just sit and think for a moment. Contemplate life, figure out your next decision.
Sure. When there's time, there's time. These people don't have time.
Now, they're gonna push back then. Maybe this isn't for you.
I can still tell you a pretty story if you want, but that's all it would be. It would be a story.
That is not a fair trade. And fair is fair after all.
Yeah, that I can very much understand. I'm sorry that I can't help you, but like I said, I don't.
That's absolutely fine. Perhaps then.
He reaches down. Here, clinking. Pulls up a crystal glass with an amber liquid in it. Let's just take a load off.
Perhaps just take a load off for a moment. Have a drink on me.
Just going to grab the liquid, give it a good sniff. What's it giving me?
It smells like a very finely aged brandy.
She kind of nods. I don't usually make it a habit of taking drinks from random winkers and strange portals, but I suppose since I didn't give you your story, bottoms up.
This is a...
This is a sipping brandy, my dear. Just enjoy it.
It's not bad.
With that, he turns to Dorme.
Dorme the entire time is just, especially after hearing Sammy's story, she kind of has like a 1,000-yard stare.
You seem quite touched by the stories of your comrades.
Yes. It's good to get perspective.
It can be, given the right circumstances. Fire has a way of bringing it all out. No lies, no judgment. Again, it's a time-honored tradition. Tell me, what is your biggest regret?
Up until recently, I thought I didn't have that many. But now that I sit thinking more and more, there's one that glares out at me. I regret that I didn't see when Kieran and Isabella were replaced. For all my gifts and all my experience with the spirit world and for all the life that I have lived, I didn't see it. I can see so many things. I see spirits passing through this world and I help them get to the land beyond, but I didn't see that.
That's a hard burden to bear.
It is. And thanks to Sammy, she kind of just looks over at Sammy. I know I don't have to shoulder it alone.
How would you fix that?
Well, experience is always the best teacher. I think what I would need is a different perspective. I didn't have all the evidence, I didn't have all the clues the last time. I just do not want it to happen again.
Which doesn't answer my question now. How would you fix it?
Well, that would involve going back in time, and I don't believe in that. I think how I would fix it is just be able to pay attention a little bit closer. Because I still feel like I missed something because I wasn't paying attention.
I don't blame you.
I have an idea. Tell me a story.
She straightens herself up and takes a deep breath. Once upon a time, when I first arrived in Edmonton, there was a little boy. He was a neighbor. About 12 years old. Dirty, skinny. Wore the same clothes for a week straight. parents in his apartment constantly yelling, constantly screaming, constant noise. But this little boy would always come to me, and I never knew why. And he said, Miss Dora, I just know you have a good heart. I can see it. So I will always make sure he left my place with some food to get him through. Maybe a treat or two if we did well in school that week. I wanted to take care of him. And she looks up at Bella. However, a few months in social services and one slick lawyer later, he was removed from the home, but I was banned from ever seeing him again. I'm happy to say now, I at least know that where he is, he's good, he's safe, he's happy. But I still wanted to save him. And I couldn't. That's all because he saw something in me. And she just looks down.
Again, he reaches down in front of him, pulls up a crystal glass with some amber liquid in it, passes it over.
She takes it with a shaky hand.
You want to be able to see. Sometime...
You want to be able to see. Sometimes seeing is not all it's cracked up to be. Are you sure about that?
Well, she's looking at the liquid. It depends on what the downside is.
Once your eyes are open, it's hard as hell to close them again because you have that knowledge within you. You know what to look for. You know how things look. Or should look. Changes your whole perspective on things.
And she just looks down at the glass vial. What will this do?
Allow you to see things better than you currently do.
Do I have to take it right now?
Before you leave here.
She takes another deep breath, opens up the stopper, looks at Ottilie and Isabella again, goes, to my girls. Oh.
Darme, the liquid slides down your throat. Sweet. Sweetest treat you've ever had in a very long time. She kind of hits that sweet tooth. Feel a door open. And you can add 2 points to awareness. At which point, his eyes slide over to Jimmy.
you? What's your biggest regret? You're one of the newest to this group.
How far do you want to go?
And be honest.
How far do you want to go?
It doesn't matter. I want to know what your biggest regret is.
There's 3 that are all the same. So how far back do you want to go?
He says nothing and he stares at you. Just grabs a glass, takes a drink, and just stares at you.
Let's go back before I was embraced. Back well before my coming of age. Let's go all the way back to 1885. My father was part of the Confederate, pioneering for the Canadian province that is now known as Alberta. Before then, it was part of the Cree. We can go back there. Where my biggest regret was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. See, I was 5. And an outbreak of conflict and violence. And I got curious of what the noise was. Only to watch a man that I used to go for meat land dead at my feet. That was my first biggest mistake of my life. To see death for the first time as a 5-year-old boy. And my innocence stolen from me that very moment. Losing myself in utter morbid fascination of his death. I was pulled away after I don't remember who, brought back to my father, and I grew up with the seed of hatred. Grew up with the seed of the only way to solve a problem was to kill it. So it came to no one's shock when years, decades later, when I was embraced, that I'd kill in an absolute frenzy. Those 6 people in Prairie Grand, and another 3 later on. Still to this day goes unsolved.
And how would you fix that?
Oh, to fix death?
The situation.
The situation is regrettably impossible. I don't think there's any way to fix that. but to learn from it as I did. After all, I was put into torpor for a crime, of which then later I was brought back 80 years later. Untortured. Surprising that the only reason why they kept me alive was because I didn't leave anyone alive enough to know that I had broken the masquerade. Except for other kindred.
How would you like the clone slates when it comes to kindred society?
I'd rather not be looked at as a clown anymore.
It is within my power. So, Jimmy, tell me a story.
In 2005, Alberta. There was a boy troubled, concerned, upset, and angry. There was a girl in that same class. And as he brought home this anger, this hatred. Give me a sec. I apologize. Let me start again. April 28th, 1999. Lisa Cunningham, one of the victims of the W.R. Myers school shooting by Todd Cameron, a 14-year-old troubled student dropout that came in and shot up and killed 4 people. One of the victims, Lisa Cunningham, is one of my friends. Well, friends' daughter. Hearing about this and hearing about how lenient the system was regarding his sentencing, he was transferred over to Toronto in 2005. As such, to gain retribution, which I did plan on killing him, he had managed to get away.
Give me one quick sec. I'm going to step in here for a moment. Ottilie. Chicken, you good?
I'm okay. Just
Okay. I'll check in with you in the Storyteller chat. Sorry, continue.
Upon running into him on the street, I had him where I wanted him. And we talked. And I let him go. And that morning, he turned himself in again. And I left. The end.
I'll have a talk with your prince. Hang on a second.
I'll have a talk with your prince. You'll make it unquestioningly clear that I will shoulder your burden, your debt. She knows who I am.
And she'll listen to you?
She will.
I do have a question regarding that.
Before we get to that, she will. She knows what kind of havoc I can cause. I've been a thorn in her side more than once. What is your question?
Can you extend this favor you give to me to the entire coterie?
They don't need it. The way I've seen things. The fact that she hasn't ordered them all dead speaks to that.
I agree, but to feel the breath of the Camarilla down our throats is not something we want.
I will see what I can do.
Thank you.
His eyes flick to Isabella. They just rest there for a long moment. Before we get to that, Ottilie, it's taken a moment. That aching pain gnawing in the bottom of your heart, that connection that was there, is softened over the last few minutes. That cord snaps. You know who Tyrion is. You know what he meant. You know what your feelings were. It's beyond you. Behind you. Feel it fading.
Nice.
There's a calmness, a stillness flows through you. Peace that you haven't felt in a very long time.
Didn't realize how heavy the burden was until it stopped being a burden. I like this. I need everyone to know. This guy's my friend. Like, you're my friends, but he's my friend. That was cool. I appreciate.
His eyes...
See, best death ever.
His eyes rest on Isabella.
I don't need to know your regrets. We're not here for that. Rebel with a cause, huh? A punk with a place and out of time.
Yes, Maki.
I hate to bring this up, but my kid has to go to bed. So are we wrapping up soon?
We will be, yes.
Okay, because I need to, like, do adult things.
One kind of place and out of time. Lost or modern world, huh? Tell me a story, sweetheart.
Isabella is quiet for a long moment, seeming like she won't say anything. I was 9 years old I was with my friend Tamika. She had a smile that could bright up the room. And this infectious laugh. She would have braids in her hair every week after wash day. And this one time, me and her had gone to the park to hang out. Just be kids. This kid in our class who was always giving her trouble, he didn't like the fact that she was smarter than him, that she could do these things that he couldn't. And he grabbed one of her braids that had just been done and pulled on it so hard that the hair came out and the beads with it. She cried. I saw red. The rest is a bit of a blur, but a few moments later, or what felt like a few moments later, my hand was broken. His nose was out of place. But I had those beads, and I gave them back to her. And I promised myself that if it was within my power, I wasn't going to let anyone else cry.
Straight and to the point. Sometimes short stories can be the most impactful. You've had a colorful history.
He stands up off of his stool, shirt and wrap blowing in the non-existent breeze. Walks over to you. Places a hand on your head. Pulls back a moment later and there's a strand of something. Almost like a spider web. Yanks it. Pulls it. Examines it. And then he drops it in the fire. Sometimes even the shadows get in, my dear. They may not have started the problem. They did exacerbate it, make it worse. That's why you've been forgetting more frequently over the last couple of nights. That tends to be how it works. With people like you.
People like me?
You'll find out in due time. There's something...
Oh yes, because that's not cryptic.
Oh, come on. If I told you now, it would spoil all the fun. And I am here for the story, yes, but also the game. We'll meet again. But for now, your memory problems should be at least somewhat stoppered. Carry your book, make your notes. But you shouldn't have to have a guard up against forgetting anything else. You can rest for a moment.
Thank you.
For the rest of you,
His eyes move from one to the next.
we're not done here. Over the next little while, you are going to find yourselves in a series of adventures, series of not tests, but suppose that word's close enough. We want to see what you're made of. We want to see if you can handle what's coming, and we want to see if you can, handle things. See if you're the right ones. Unfortunately, until that's done, you won't be leaving the complex. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the game. And let the festivities begin.
With that, the fire goes out. He disappears into the shadows. A moment later, you find yourselves back in the main atrium of Ottilie's warehouse. Not a trace of blood. No bodies. Nothing. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.